and we're going to do another EFT tapping today. And this is around letting go of any disappointment that you may be holding on to from previous failures. Hello, here we go again. So if you are joining me from having been in the wealth consciousness movement tapping just an hour ago, and we're going to do another EFT tapping today. And this is around letting go of any disappointment that you may be holding on to from previous failures. And things that you really feel you could have done better. Disappointment can be absolutely crushing, particularly when as entrepreneurs we experience multiple disappointments in a row. And disappointment is simply created because we have an emotional attachment to an anticipated outcome. So that just means that we have set up in our mind that we want to achieve a particular thing. And then we give it a crack. I love that term. I think it's an Australian term. If you don't know it in America, you just got to give it a red hot crack. Give it a go. And when we give it a go and we pour our heart and soul into something and it doesn't work. And it's like, oh, put all this energy into it and it didn't work. We feel disappointment, and that's okay. It's okay to feel that disappointment unless that disappointment becomes something that defines us and something that stops us from further attempts. Now, I realized this within myself actually fairly recently. So when we set ourselves up for with emotional attachment to a particular outcome, in the immediate future, we also set ourselves up for disappointment and failure, potential failure, because the only failure is the failure to participate. And this is where most people don't achieve their goals and dreams, not because they're not capable, not because they aren't made of the right stuff, not because of any failings within themselves, except the failure to continue and the failure to participate and the failure to keep trying until you achieve the result that you want. There is nothing that can stand between you and what you want unless you allow it to, unless you allow the last attempt to be your final attempt at something. So when this whole new concert that has, if you've heard about the Christmas Classics for the Conscious Collective concert that I am doing as a collaboration with a couple of good friends of mine, the way it literally in under 24 hours, this event was birthed into the world. Obviously, we still had things we needed to put in place for it to be a thing, and we haven't actually had the concert yet. The concert is on the 20th of December. It is going to be live streamed globally all around the world on a closed live stream network. So you can get tickets for, get this, just $10 for the online live stream. If you're in the Brisbane area in Queensland, we have tickets to come to the concert live. It is a healing concert that is disguised as a Christmas concert. So we're doing beautiful Christmas classics. And Christmas songs. We are doing some opera arias. We are going to be doing sound healing, light language sound healing, crystal bowl sound healing, Aboriginal didgeridoo sound healing. There's going to be an Aboriginal smudging ceremony. It is going to be so incredibly magical. This is designed to uplift and inspire all who listen, to help to transform consciousness and to bring us together and to unite us before we move into the new year and into the transition that is coming for humanity. I honestly believe that this crap that has unfolded this year is all a part of the transition in consciousness for humanity. And that's what this consciousness, this concert is all about, is actually helping to shift consciousness. We're just going to have a ton of fun by singing Christmas carols and opera songs, and it's going to be absolutely crazy magical. So when all this happened, I gave up on my opera career over 10 years ago now. I walked away because of crushing disappointments, and many crushing disappointments. The arts is tough, you know, everybody knows that. You've got to have, a will of steel to become successful in the arts. And when I sort of hit my late 30s, actually when I hit my mid 30s, it was kind of like, you know what, if it doesn't happen soon, I'm going to move on with my life. Because in your mid 30s, if you're not successful in the arts, then pretty much it's over. I kept trying until my late 30s and even into my very early 40s. But I just got to a point that I just literally couldn't do it anymore. So when all this started to unfold, you know what happened for me internally? Yes, I was excited, because this is every vision that I have ever wanted all in one package. I didn't imagine that I could sing opera and I could sing Christmas carols. I love singing Christmas carols. And I could have the sound healing all in one amazing package. I never imagined that it could be like that way. Anything's possible, right? I know, I can hear you coming back at me, but Marguerita, you keep telling us that everything is possible. Everything is possible. Absolutely. You've got to hold the container and the space for it. And when the time is right, okay? So 10 years after I've given up on my opera career, this just happens, and it just continues to unfold almost effortlessly. It's so surreal. And I realized that a big part of me almost didn't want to believe it was true. It was like, don't get too attached to this. Or, don't get too excited. What if it doesn't actually happen? What if it doesn't work? The concert may never happen. Who knows? Another coronavirus lockdown might happen. And if that does happen, by the way, we will fully refund all tickets. Don't worry about that. But it's not going to happen, because Spirit inspired this. Spirit is driving this. And when I realized just how much of those past disappointments I was still harboring within me, we are all a work in progress, including me. And it was, thank you so much, Rita. This is so beautiful. I love your support. I really do. All of you. I love your support so much. It really, it's what keeps me going sometimes. Because I have nowhere near achieved what I know I'm here to accomplish on this planet yet. And those disappointments that we can harbor, if we don't release them, then they can really interfere with our willingness to keep putting ourselves out there, and our willingness to keep giving it a red hot crack. So I'm going to do some tapping on releasing all your disappointments today, because as entrepreneurs, we do suffer disappointments. And if we don't leave them where they belong in the past, and know that anything that doesn't turn out the way that we would like it to, it's just a learning process. Okay, so that didn't work. We analyze it. We take stock of what could we have done better? What did we do well? What could we have done better? Was it information that we didn't know that caused this to not work out the way we wanted? Which is probably very likely, because we don't know everything and we don't know what we don't know. So the reason often we have short-term failure is because we are simply learning the process of how to succeed in whatever it is we have decided to succeed at. So that failure is inevitable. That short-term failure or learning is inevitable, because we don't know it all. We can't possibly know it all. Even if we've done it in the past, the market may have changed. People's desires may have changed. Marketing may have changed. There's so many different variables, and everything is changing all the time. So when we attempt something and we have too much emotional attachment in the immediate outcome, you can get excited about the vision. I am so excited about this concept. And even if something happens and it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter, because I can enjoy the journey and I can know that this vision is not only possible, it is doable. I have the team around me who we are working together as a team to make it happen. We all have great mindsets. We have limitless mindsets. Anything is possible. You have no idea when you collaborate with people like that, how uplifting and inspiring and how magical it is. And it's so important that you surround yourself with those people. No limits on what it is that you can achieve, particularly together. So now that I'm like, you know what, stuff it. I'm just going to get super excited about this, because the more excitement and energy, positive energy that I put into the vision, the better the outcome's going to be. The more likely it is to succeed. If I'm holding back and go, oh, don't get too excited, what if it doesn't happen? You know, you've tried this stuff in the past and it hasn't worked and you've been very disappointed. Don't get too happy. This too shall pass. Everything shall pass. The joy passes. The disappointment passes. And it's important that we get to live in the moment and we enjoy the crap out of the journey, whatever the journey holds, all the successes, all the failures, all the disappointments. So I want you to get real with yourself today. I want you to think of all your past attempts. I want you to think of the things that didn't work. I want you to think about anything that you may be holding on to that was disappointing for you. And it may not be in your entrepreneurial journey. It may be in a relationship. It may be a physical thing. It may be that, you know, you were into sports and you didn't quite achieve what you wanted to achieve during that sporting career that you had. It may be in the arts. It may be that you've never actually achieved what you believe is your full potential. And it's not too late because you're still alive. So where in your life do you feel that there's something unfinished or something that you felt a sense of disappointment around your lack of results, or around something you could have done better, or maybe you feel like you didn't try hard enough? We did a whole heap of tapping on shame. If you weren't there in the Wealth Consciousness Movement group, we did a whole heap of tapping on shame around very similar stuff. So this is similar, but different. Same, but different. I know it's confusing. I'm a confusing person. It's all good. So what I want you to do is really tune into that disappointment that you're still holding on to. And if you're not holding on to any disappointment anywhere in your life, then hey, either go and have a nice cup of tea or coffee, or and sit back and relax for a bit because you're cooked, you're all good, or choose another emotion that you may be experiencing. So hey Sandra, lovely to have you here, beautiful lady. Okay, so that disappointment on a scale of 0 to 10, how intense is it? 10 being absolutely full on, full blown, feeling the disappointment. 0 being, nah, I'm good. I got none. Okay, start by tapping on the karate chop point. Take note of the number. Even though I'm feeling this disappointment, I deeply and completely love and accept all of me. Even though I have all this disappointment, because I wanted it so badly and it didn't happen. I deeply and completely love and accept all of me anyway. Even though I tried so hard and poured my heart and soul into that thing I wanted to achieve, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it, and I never achieved what I wanted, I deeply and completely love and accept all of me right now. Okay, tapping through the points inside of the eye. All this disappointment. I was so disappointed. I wanted it so badly. I poured my heart and soul into it. I was so disappointed when it didn't work. All this disappointment. The result was soul destroying. I still feel it now. All this disappointment. I tried really hard. I gave it my best shot. But it didn't work. I still feel that disappointment in me. I release all emotional attachment to this disappointment. I release all emotional attachment to this deep emotion attached to this outcome. I release all emotional attachment to all the disappointment I have around this. I restore the right flow of energy. So, okay, before we do this, I want you to think about where you feel that disappointment in your body. Where do you feel that disappointment in your body? Pinpoint it. And say, I restore the right flow of energy to this part of my body. Okay, so it didn't turn out the way I wanted. What if it's all perfect? What if I've just got to give it another try? So it didn't work out. I've still got breath in me, haven't I? What if I can still achieve it? What if I could achieve something even better? I refuse to allow this disappointment to define me. I refuse to allow this disappointment to stop me. I release all fear of future disappointment. I release all anticipation of feeling disappointed. Yeah, of course it was disappointing. Poured my heart and soul into it. Doesn't mean I can't achieve it. Or something even better. Maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe I didn't have all the information. Maybe I hadn't mastered the skills I needed to master. Maybe I didn't have the right people on my team. Maybe there's something I haven't tried yet. I release all my emotional attachment to having failed in the past. I release all emotional attachment to being afraid to fail in the future. Failure is just feedback. Failure can't stop me unless I let it. I refuse to allow these disappointments to stop me now. So I haven't achieved it yet. Doesn't mean I can't achieve it or something better in the future. And I'm sure there'll be disappointments. That's okay. I'm still here. I refuse to allow disappointment to stop me. I refuse to allow the fear of disappointment to stop me. Maybe I was too attached emotionally to the immediate outcome. Maybe I just have to keep trying. And maybe there'll be a few more disappointments along the way. I choose to know I am so much bigger than any failure or setback or disappointment that I could ever experience. And I choose to believe in me. I choose to believe in my ability to achieve anything I put my mind to. I choose to be unstoppable. I eat failure and disappointment for breakfast because I am so determined. And I choose to be resilient. And I choose to get over my damn self. And I choose to get out of my own way. I refuse to let any past failures or disappointments stop me or get in the way from achieving my dream. It's my dream. It's my vision. And I'm determined to achieve it. No matter how much disappointment or failure I must endure. It's only short term. As long as I never give up, I'll get there in the end. And if I'm not there yet, then it's not the end. So I'm going to put my big person pants on and give it everything that I've got. Give it a red hot crack. And know that as long as I never give up, I will achieve anything that I put my mind to. Because I'm unstoppable. And I'm amazing. And I am infinitely powerful. And I am capable of achieving anything that I put my mind to. Okay, deep breath. Let it out. Another deep breath. Let it out. Awesome. How does that feel? Pretty cool, huh? Do you feel your energy and vibration have lifted? Do you feel more resilient, more committed, more determined? That's the state that you need to be able to cultivate on an ongoing basis, in spite of the setbacks, in spite of the failures, in spite of the disappointments, and letting go of your emotional attachment to anything that's happened in the past is so, so powerful. Remember, Decide what it is that you absolutely want. Dream huge. Dare to dream huge. No limits. You're not going to know how that's going to work out. You're not going to be the person you need to be right here, right now to be able to achieve it. Meaning that you have everything inside you that you need, but maybe there are things that you need to learn. We don't know what we don't know. Maybe there's skill sets that you need to master. Maybe there's people that you haven't met yet who are going to be a part of the collaboration to bring it to life. If you have a big vision, you must collaborate with others. And people will come and go within that circle. Some of them will be a fit, some of them won't. And you need to say yes to the opportunities that come your way. Give yourself permission to say yes to the opportunities, to say yes to exploring the possibilities and the opportunities that come into your field as potentially a part of the solution. Remember, you're going to explore many different things that may or may not be a part of the ultimate solution. And every single thing will contribute to your growth, to your learning, to your skill sets, to your understanding, to becoming the person you need to be to achieve that ultimate goal. And there are going to be plenty of learnings and failure and feedback and disappointments and setbacks. Plenty. Embrace them because they're a part of the journey. Without that, there is no journey. There's no summit to climb. There's no sense of achievement when you get to that summit and you plant your flag. That's what makes the achievement of it so much sweeter. And it's being willing to lean in, constantly lean in to the possibilities, to the inspiration that you receive, to the power that you not only have within you, but you have available to you. The limitless possibilities and potential that is within you and within all of us. And know that as you give yourself permission to just keep getting in the arena. I'm such a fan of Brené Brown at the moment because I'm just reading her book. And she talks about you've got to be willing, don't sit in the cheap seats. You've got to be willing to get on the field, to get in the arena. And you've got to be willing to get down and get dirty and get stomped on, get your face rubbed in the dirt, get bloody, get sweaty. You've got to be willing to play. And if you aren't willing to play and then get back up and play some more, if you're not willing to get bruised and beaten up a bit, then sit in the cheap seats. It's going to be nowhere near as satisfying. Okay, so you'll avoid some of that crushing disappointment. You'll avoid some of those setbacks and those moments that you just want to take the computer and chuck it out the window or go and hit a wall, or you'll avoid all of that, but your life will be mediocre. There's nothing that you won't be able to lie on your deathbed and go, you know what? I gave it a crack and I did all right. I achieved some things, and there are some things that I didn't achieve, but you know what? I'm proud of that I put my heart and soul into it, and I gave it everything that I had, and it was worth it. This trip was worth it. Is that what you want to do at the end of your life? Or do you want to lie in deathbed and go, yeah, it was all right? It's a bit disappointing, really. Probably could have done more. Probably could have done better. Meh. Do you want your life to be meh? Or do you want it to have all the ups and downs, the challenges, the failures? You do, don't you? Because that's what life's about. All right. Love you loads. Would love your feedback. Riley Ann, you are very, very welcome. It is always my pleasure. Sandra, lovely to have you here. Rita, always a pleasure to have you on here. Beautiful. And thank you so much for your wonderful support. And Sally, great to have you here too. Mwah. Love you all. And just give it a crack, guys. Get out there, and whatever your dream is, whatever your vision is, just give it a red hot crack because you are still breathing and you ain't done yet, my friend. All right. I look forward to seeing you next week, same time. Have a great week. Bye for now. If you've enjoyed this video today, then come and join the Online Business for Spiritual Entrepreneurs Facebook group, where I share lots more training, information, tapping, and different things that are going to help you to get from where you are to where you want to be as a spiritual entrepreneur. Just click the link below. I look forward to seeing you in the group very soon.